Good morning and welcome to the broadcast. May not be so good of a broadcast today. Took the Mack down to Valley Truck yesterday to have that window worked on and a couple other things. I was like, you know what, guys, just go ahead and check and make sure a turbo seal is not wrong or something causing all that white smoke to billow out of it. They checked turbo, that was okay, which is not okay for me because now it means it's an engine trouble. Told him to dive in a little bit deeper. He pulled the manifold and it looks like cylinder number 3 is pumping oil out like crazy. So I'm on my way down there to look at it and kind of go over our options to move forward from here. But I'm already decided I'm not giving up on the Mack. It's old school, it's mechanical, it doesn't require diesel exhaust fluid. You know, it's my baby to keep at this point. All right, let's go see what the damage is going to be. Now, Taylor, when you find these problems, they're supposed to be cheap. Cheap and easy to fix.
Yeah. No.
What's up? You guys want to go on YouTube?
Sure.
All right, what's the issue here?
So that's dry.
Dry as a bone.
That's dry.
That's dry. Okay.
It's wet here.
Oh my. Okay. So it gets more expensive the farther in we go.
That's wet.
I see. Okay.
And you can see it's obviously dry here, so there's nothing coming from this way.
All right. So where we're at now is cylinder 3. Somewhere in there, it's just pumping the oil out. Could be a valve guide rod, or could be a sleeve or a ring. Who knows? But Taylor's I told him, I was like, well, just go ahead and go a little bit deeper in the engine and let me know for sure what it is. And then we'll be able to really go over what needs to be done, what options, if there are options. So now that we're trying to figure out what's wrong with the Mack, the next day I'm up on Snake Hill mowing with the excavator. I have to make a video to my service guy down at Carolina Cat with this issue. Hey Jason, just want to make a quick video for you here. This pin is the one we've already replaced like 2 or 3 times. This machine's only got 1,700 hours. It seems grease is working its way out normally there. This side is really dry. I noticed the other day both grease fittings here are taking grease, but pumping into this one, grease only comes out here. And when I pump into that one, grease only comes out here. And this side is just looking really dry. I did take the implement off, just make sure that pressure is even on that pin. See, it's pushing grease out this side and none on this side. But obviously the fitting is taking grease, but is that normal? Hello, old friend. That's a really steep hill. She's squatted. This little truck, that's not very well distributed weight. And that's way steeper than it looks. Well, little buddy, I usually just say voyage. For those of you who were deprived as children, look up the movie Gus. Came out in 1976. You can thank me later. To answer the question about the pin and that grease fitting and it squirting grease out the wrong side, no, it is not normal. Instead of coming here to this job, the 309 excavator is now going to Carolina Cat. They're going to take it apart and see what's going on. Some may say that's unfortunate and that sucks, and it kind of does, but what's lucky about it is on this particular job, I need that skid steer and that mower most of the time. So I've got about a week to piddle around with this skid steer and brush cutter. I'll stay busy, keep making money while all this other stuff sorts themselves out, and it also gives me time to make decisions if they do get really expensive. Out of grease, of course. On this skid steer and my 309, and really anything else that I'm running with, typically if it's a pin that's no more than that long and like a 1 1/4 inch diameter, I find that like a 3 count, 1, 2, 3, is just enough to grease that pin. 1, 2, 3. That's just enough to purge any air out of that pin and bushing and to really coat it good for a good 10-hour operating period. These rollers right here are going to be turning a whole lot. I'll do those for a 5 count. Or if it's kind of dry around here, I'll just keep pumping until I see this dried material kind of push out a little bit. That's when I know that a sufficient amount of grease has pushed in there and is starting to push out. We're going to take this machine up on the hill and we're going to do a lap of mowing up here so you can see kind of what I'm doing. I'll go over how I'm charging and what's involved. But one thing I want to cover, this has been an extremely busy year for me. It's been pretty crazy. I've gone through several big events that have been life-changing in good ways and bad ways. Starting with the big hurricane or tropical storm Helene, that displaced a lot of people, caused a lot of work. And as you can also tell, I've added to my attire suspenders. The reason being is I had just went up a size on my clothes when I discovered that in order to put my socks on in the morning, I had to hold my breath because my belly was getting in the way. I've lost some weight, 15 pounds to be exact, and I feel great. I just want to make sure everybody knows that as far as health goes, I'm doing great. Now, anybody who knows me much at all personally knows I love to shoot targets. I was outside the house doing some target practice and had a 357 explode in my hand, which broke my finger here and it broke the bone in the tip. You can see I've got a screwed up fingernail from it, and it pretty much blew the finger open around through here, back down to this side and out to the tip. The only thing holding it was a little bit of skin there and a couple of tendons. That wasn't very fun. At the end of the video, if you're curious, I'll put up a couple of pictures. They'll have to be in black and white for the commie tube. Otherwise, they'll take it down and demonetize it. I'll do some before and afters of that, just for those who are curious what a 357 will do when it explodes in your hand. Well, it was bad. That happened 2 days before we were supposed to fly to Jamaica for a great baby moon. We still made the trip. I just couldn't get in the water. Sharks and such. Well, this hasn't grown up much at all since I did it last time. I'll put a link at the end of the video up to where me and Emma did this job. She did a lot of the skid steer work. I did a lot of the excavator work. She was tough on this too, man. She wasn't much afraid of these slopes at all. She did good. These skid steers, they're sure-footed. Once we go around the side of the hill here and back up the other side, the view is amazing. Wait till you guys see it. But yeah, I'll post a link to all the videos we did the last time we did this. I'm not going to video much of the actual mowing. This right here is why you wouldn't want to use a tractor on this. It's not super steep, but it is washed in several areas, and that makes it very, very rough. With the bad disc in my back getting beat up, they'd be killing me by the time it's over with. I always like to mow any of these little saplings that start kind of hanging over the edge of the field. Just makes it easier in future cuttings. I'll give this 289 credit on for sure is how well it does do on slopes. It's like a billy goat. This section right here is where I usually prefer to use my excavator. It's more sure-footed. I can put the blade down. I've got about a 30-foot straight drop off right there in front of me. If for some reason this thing took off sliding, I'd be in a world of dookie. The only reason I'm doing it today is because it's so dry, but it's not too dry. When the ground is really dry and the growth is sparse, dirt tends to loosen up and it can take off with you. That first pass, that cut quality looks really good, especially since I had the blades going backwards. And no, these are not two-sided blades. They only cut going one way. Well, I guess they do cut going both ways. Instead of going side to side, I'm going straight up and down, because since I did this the last time, these bare areas, rainwater has washed down the hill and cut channels. So going side to side, it's really bumpy like that. Going this way and back down, I can straddle those washes, and it makes it a little bit easier on the equipment and me. Bob Marley and the Wailers, everybody. I believe that's it. That's one way to clean it. It's the following week, and I just got a call from my cat service manager, and what we ran into with that pin not taking grease is that one of the seals on the inside of that bushing got damaged somehow. I said, and now hear me out, I want to hear you guys' opinions about what you would do, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not mad about it, but it's been about 250 hours since they did the last repair. A lot of bigger companies are going to put that kind of hours on a machine in like 3, 4, 5 weeks, somewhere in there, just depending on that particular machine. That's not a whole lot of time between a damage this bad. I actually asked them, go ask the mechanic. I said, okay, so what would have caused this to happen? Is number one, when the pin was either being put in or taken out. I don't see taken out, would have damaged it. I think when they were putting the pin in, if it's a tight fit, they beat it in, they rolled that seal. That's what I think. Okay. The next thing he said could have happened is that would cause that damage if something went through that tiny little gap and got in there and damaged that seal. His words were, I don't see how that could happen. And I said, I don't see how that could happen either. That's a tight fit for anything of any size to get in there and damage it. What would you guys do in this situation? Okay, you just paid a couple of $1,000s to have new pins, bushings, and everything put in there. Okay, number one, what I think, if there's really no way I could have damaged it, either A, it was poor quality of service putting that part in, or poor quality of parts. In general, Cat's parts are pretty blame good. From what I've dealt with them, they're pretty good. I would think that they would warranty either the service part, the labor, or they would warranty the parts themselves. Now, me being reasonable, stuff happens. I won't say what I really want to say because I know kids watch the channel, but stuff happens, and things that you can't explain happen in this business. I've been dumbfounded many times. Therefore, the way I'm going to go about this is I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to the service manager. I may even talk to the store manager, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm just going to chalk this one up to a freak accident. 250 hours since brand new parts are in there, another part's already failed. I'm just going to chalk it up to a freak accident because we can't really definitively point the finger at anything or anybody. However, I'm going to make sure it takes grease good, Everything runs smoothly before I even take it off their lot. And then if it messes up again in this particular pin and bushing and seals again, I'm probably going to demand that they warranty the work, because that's not going to be a freak accident. That's going to be something that's continuing to happen. This is not something I'm going to allow myself to get angry about. It's just not worth it. It's machinery. It's going to tear up. Weird stuff's going to happen. What's the cost of this? It's going to be, they told me it'd be right at $700 out of my pocket right now, unless my conversation with them goes a different way and they're like, you know what, you're right, 250 hours, something's not right, and there's no way it was my fault. I don't expect that, but we're gonna fix it this time, and we're gonna move forward on to the next thing, which is the big thing, waiting on them to call me to tell me what's wrong with the Mack. Comfortably in crawl mode at speed 17, and this is what it looks like at full speed ahead. So I'm not really crawling and going super slow, but it is a factor. If you get any kind of a machine moving too fast and bouncing around, that's where they'll tend to turn over a little bit quicker. That's the end of it. There it is. 54 minutes is what it took me to do that 1.9 acres. There ain't no way. There's no way that's nearly 2 acres and I did it that fast. I don't believe it. Let me recheck the acreage. Let's go to tools, area shape. Be a little bit more conservative here. There. Aha! There we go. 0.92 acres. The next episode, we'll see what happened with the Mack and start another fun project. We'll see you there.